Welcome everybody to Overreaction Lunes with the Compas. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That is Gilbert Manzano. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? A whole lot's going on. Wink, wink. But it was a good weekend of football, and I'm doing well. How
Yeah,
about
a
you?
lot of
I feel like you always ask me, and I never ask you. I'm the worst partner.
no, no,
How you
no.
doing?
You're fine. Don't worry about that. Obviously, a lot of crazy stuff going on, especially with the NFL and just man, it's really heating up. We saw it's funny. I felt like in the first slate of games we got to see two of the young quarterbacks that everybody's excited. CJ Stroud and Jordan Love really got everybody excited about because the future. I mean, everybody's always talking about the future and what the future holds and everything. People got people talking about what the future holds with both of those guys. Then obviously Brock Purdy struggling a little bit, and then obviously you see Baltimore. Man, I'll tell you one thing. I was impressed with what Baltimore did in the second half of that game because they
Put him up there first. Why not? There you go. Coach Dan Ramirez, USA.
that's Dan and Dago. But yeah, what Baltimore did in the second half was very impressive of that game. I wonder, and Kyle Van Noy was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said that Lamar, when they went into the locker room, Lamar said, "Hey guys, we got to go out there and we gotta go win this thing." Like, and Kyle, Kyle's been in locker rooms with Tom Brady, with other guys. Like, he's been in a lot of different locker rooms. I think he said this is his sixth AFC championship. No. I think he said this is like his fourth or fifth AFC championship. Or I can't remember how many he's been in, but Kyle said that Lamar was the one that talked to the team and said, we got to step it up. Like, this can't keep on happening. And guys really stepped up in the second half, and I thought they really clamped down. And I know the defense had played hard in the first half, but in the second half, it felt like Lamar said, okay, they're kind of taking away the pass in a sense. Let me just do it with my legs. And that's what he did. And that's how they were able to kind of overcome what they were doing. And that's what happened in the first in those two games. You fast forward to the next two, and huge effort by the Bucks and Baker Mayfield, but obviously Detroit, Motor City Dan Campbell, and Detroit just looks like they're on a quest right now. They get it done, and then obviously Bills and Chiefs. That fourth quarter was just wild between the Chiefs and the Bills. Just one of those typical matchups that you see from the Bills and Chiefs having it. But let's get into that game,
Yeah.
Gilbert. Bills and Chiefs. Like I said, one of those typical games were just a lot of back and forth. I'll just start off with Josh Allen, 26 to 39, 186 passing, one touchdown. He did have 72 rushing yards, two touchdowns. Then you look on the other side, Mahomes 17 to 23, 215, two touchdowns. Pacheco 15 carries, 97 yards, one touchdown. Kelsey 5 catches, 75 yards, two touchdowns. I don't even think he was the most impressive Kelsey of the day, to be honest. I thought the most impressive Kelsey
Yeah.
was Jason with everything he was doing. But Gilbert, what was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Yeah, and before I give you my takeaways, just a quick rundown. If you're here for Chargers talk, because a certain coach in Canada is going to interview for a second time, we'll get there soon. We're also going to kind of give you a little mini previews of the AFC title game and the NFC title game. But we had to talk about this one, and this was definitely the game of the weekend. So I'm glad we're starting here, and you know what? Just kind of give myself a little pat here. Nobody on Compas on the beat besides myself picked the Chiefs. You guys all picked the Bills, so some things never change. So I'll do a little flex. I'm not Jason Kelsey, but a little flex right there. And now that I'm bragging, I think I lost my train of thought, but I'll go back to it right now, Fernando. And
You did mention that we are going to be talking Chargers, right?
yes, I did.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, I feel like you're gonna make fun of me in a bit, but
No.
yeah, I did mention Jim Harbaugh's
Okay,
coming up soon.
cool. Okay.
I didn't want to spoil it, but I'll go back to the fourth quarter, Fernando, and you know it was a great game between both quarterbacks, star power of Mahomes and Josh Allen, but it just felt like that pressure of finally trying to beat your rival and to move on to the next round, it got them in that fourth quarter. I felt like everybody was a little tight, and I kept telling Fernando, these Bills can't figure out if they want to be conservative, run the freaking football. It was working for 3 quarters, or you want to go bombs away and help out Stephon Diggs to get involved. And Josh Allen tried doing that. Obviously, remember the drop pass from Diggs. He did his part. Then he had a killer miss in the end zone to stop the clock, and obviously Chris Jones kind of shoved into him. I saw the replay. I don't think he really affected it. It was kind of a miss, I felt like, from Josh Allen. But why did you go away from the running game? And maybe that's a question for Joe Brady. And you need to get a touchdown at that point. Yeah, we're all going to focus on Tyler Bass missing that field goal, wide or right for now. That was when I saw right away when it kicked it. I'm like, that's going to be a miss. I feel bad for Bills fans, whatever. But I go back to that drive. You need to end that with a touchdown. They did it. He tried going to Khalil Shakir when Diggs was probably open. And why not on that point? Why don't you go to James Cook? Use your two freaking tight ends. You got Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Short. Get there. Be patient. And you'll get the touchdown. Josh Allen's a freaking goal line machine. You would get a little closer, you would score that touchdown. And the other part about it too, Fernando, if Tyler Bass makes that field goal, I'm pretty like 98% sure the Chiefs go down the field with 1 minute to go, 2 timeouts, and get a field goal because they couldn't even stop Pacheco. So I think for me, it's going to be a lot of missed opportunities for the Bills, and it might be the end of the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs partnership.
It was this is what I was telling Dan. For every single drive that the Bills were going up and scoring, the Chiefs were coming up in 5 plays and they were putting it in the end zone. And that was the thing. Like, the Bills were taking up a lot of plays and the Chiefs were just coming up quickly and scoring. And that's the thing. And the injuries just caught up to the Bills. But at the same time, that's no excuse. Like, they should have put that game away numerous times. In the fourth quarter, you had, well, I'm gonna be sensitive, but that fake punt, what the hell are you like? If you like, okay, they had 10 men on the field, but don't run it like that way. Like, I just
Especially
didn't
that
understand.
part of the field, Fernando. Like, you're way backed up, and like you're still
I
that
just
far.
I didn't understand that part at all.
But if
And
they
I
would have got it with
understand.
Damar Hamlin, Fernando, those stories would have been wild, though.
I know, but like I saw people on Twitter and they're like, this isn't a freaking Disney movie. Like, and but bro, like, I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks, I go on Twitter and I've seen all these people and I'm like, you guys are like horrible human beings.
Yeah,
but I'm like, all right, but I'm here for it.
I know
Like,
the memes, regardless, good or bad, would have been pretty out
but
of this world.
I couldn't believe that play. And then I was like, okay, that was boneheaded. But then the fumble. By the way, I'm actually probably one of the only people that actually agree that if you fumble and it goes out of the end zone, you should be penalized.
No, I'm
that
with
should
you.
be
Go earn that. Go get that damn touchdown. Don't like get a bailout.
Yeah, no, hell no. That should be the ball to the other team. Okay, you get the ball there, and then you decide to go. I think they went up the middle with Cook for -4 yards. Then they went to Shakir for 2 yards, and then a passing complete to Sherfield. Oh, that was the one that Allen threw deep, and he kind of I think the wind kind of took it a little bit, and it got dropped. And then obviously the missed field goal. I don't put as much on the missed field goal, to be completely honest, because like you said, I think Kansas City would have came up and they would have either kicked a field goal or scored a touchdown regardless. I put it more on you needed to score a touchdown. And I know that I know Romo gets a lot of flack for a lot of things, but there was a play on second down, I remember, where there was a drag route by Diggs and number 10, the little shifty receiver. Allen decides to go to him in the end zone. I know he got hit and it went incomplete. Romo was right. He should have hit Diggs underneath. He probably gets to 10 yards of first down. You keep the ball moving. You keep killing the clock. And unfortunately, they didn't go that route. But I saw that stat, and I think everybody's seen it. This Bills team has been almost the same as the 06 to 09 Chargers that had powerful teams that should have won Super Bowls, but they just could never get over the hump. I mean, obviously, those teams at LT, they had much lethal defenses, obviously. But it's just one of those things where
when you say LT and those guys,
I know. But this team they can't get over the hump. It couldn't get past the Chiefs, and this was their opportunity. And I guess Mahomes went into the locker room and said, "This is what they wanted. They wanted this. We came in here and we beat them." And that's true. That's what the Bills have been wanting. And I know fans have been complaining about, well, we got a shorter week than they did. We got screwed because of the Monday night. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbled because of the weather and everything. And now the Chiefs have a date against the Baltimore Ravens. And man, that game, one or two things is going to happen in that game. Either it's going to be tight or Baltimore's just going to blow them the hell out because
Well, slow it down. We got the AFC title game mini preview.
Man, I'll tell you right now, I'm sticking Kyle Hamilton on what's it called? On Travis Swift, and I'm saying you, Kyle, go at him the whole game.
Travis Swift.
Yeah, just be on him the whole game. Don't even man, Kyle Hamilton's something else. I would just stick him on the whole game, but my bad. Yeah. Going back to that game though, it's a little bit of everything. It's McDermott. I would fire McDermott if I was the Bills.
I was thinking that earlier too, Fernando. You've got into like when you fired Ken Dorsey, it was kind of like okay, we need to get our act together because
Leslie Frazier last year.
Same thing, but like you know what keeps happening? You keep losing to the Chiefs. You can't go over that wall. You can't keep doing the same tactic and like okay, let me fire other people, and then you go rip off a 5-game winning streak. You beat the Steelers with Mason Rudolph.
There's nobody else to fire.
Yeah,
there's nobody else to fire. It's just
that wall's too high for him. He can't get over the hump there. So I the year when there's still Bill Belichick out there, I know he's talking to the Falcons. The year when Mike Vrabel's still out there, why not make a move? I don't get these teams like the Cowboys. You keep getting in the same freaking wall. You keep falling backwards. You try the same thing over and over again. It doesn't work. And then they're like in cap hell right now. And then that contract with Von Miller is just looking worse by the week. Terrible. And then that's why I keep thinking maybe even Juwan Diggs, is he still the same dude? I don't know about that. Like he hasn't been explosive. Are you even there mentally? There's a lot of bad things going on, Fernando, with them. But real quick, because I got to brag about the Chiefs a little bit. They're not dominant or as explosive as they used to be, but they just find ways. And when you got Pacheco making plays, even Clyde Edwards-Helaire started stepping up. MVS all of a sudden is making catches and not dropping the ball. Kelsey showing he still has a little left in the tank there. Mahomes making some great throws. Pacheco, they were just balanced, and they actually lifted the defense. The defense was terrible. They were getting gash on the ground. That's why I don't get what happened with Brady and McDermott not going away from the freaking run. Again, you got to tell Josh Allen, dude, slow it down. Keep doing what you're doing. It's 3 quarters. We're almost there. And they don't like that. They don't like that habit there. So you got to either build that into their minds and say, hey, trust the game plan. It's like a boxer. I'm a boxing guy. But when you go away from the game plan, you go back to being that brawler. You can't change the Mexican from being the brawler. You try being a technician. It's tough. So that's what a way to compare with Josh Allen. But the Chiefs did their job.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing is that there's a head coach out there that's already been in this division for 2 different teams, maybe a third. Sometimes you need to hear a different voice too. And that's the thing too, is that maybe the message needs to change. Maybe it's a person giving the message that needs to change. And when I did hear again on the Pat McAfee show that I think it was Adam Schefter said that after the 9/11 thing got out, that the Bills management was like, yo, like
you said that?
we may need to make a change, and that they decided to stick with it. But man, and especially with some of the coaches out here, I mean, what if you got a Mike Vrabel in there?
He's been out there waiting too. Like I don't see any type of heat for him to get go.
I did hear that he's the Chargers number 2, obviously. With
do you want to be a number 2? That's
no, and I completely get it. But that's the thing is that okay, so why not make? And that's why I've been wondering. I understand why the Eagles didn't make a move, but it's in here. I think this is me just being crazy and looking at things a different way. But let's just say that the Cowboys would have fired
McCarthy.
Let's just say Harbaugh or Belichick go in there, Vrabel, and they win the Super Bowl. It's going to be Jimmy Johnson 2.0 again. That's not what he wants. He wants the shine on him. That's how Jerry Jones operates. That's why he doesn't want a big name in there, because he knows that it's just going to happen all over again. So that's just but the Bills have to do something, because it just has not worked with this guy. And I know they're going to point at the injuries. They're going to point at this. But, dude, even with all those injuries, that Chiefs team is pretty healthy, and you were only 3 points away from you were a terrible last drive away from beating them in a sense.
Even if
But
they do beat them, Fernando, they would have got steamrolled by the Baltimore Ravens. Like
100, yeah.
you're not even close. Well, I
Yeah,
guess you are kind of close, but you're not that close.
the only thing that would have like saved you against Baltimore in a sense would have been if like Josh Allen just puts the team on his back and just runs all over the field and is trucking guys. And even that kind of stuff. What if I always told you like because I cover the Charge and everything, so I put it from this perspective. Like people thought that when Kellen Moore first got here, oh, maybe that means more design run for the Chargers. You don't want that. You don't want your quarterback taking that beating. Yesterday, there was a couple of hits that I saw Josh Allen taking on those designed runs where he would get up and he would take the hit and you'd see him on the side like from his face and you just see him screaming out in a sense, and you're like, dude, you don't want him taking those hits.
It's the playoffs, but those are some big hits.
Yeah, and one of these days it's just going to be one of those hits where he's just not going to be able to get up from.
Look at Cam Newton. Like Cam Newton is the same body type as Josh Allen, and like, oh, it's working. He's a big dude. He could take it, and then he's out of the league in 10 years. Like he wasn't like a 15 or 16-year guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hell, even Jim Harbaugh was a 15-year guy. And I mean, I'm not saying that Jim Harbaugh was that talented, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
go that far, you know?
When you put your body on the line like that, like you're not going to play in the league that long. I mean, NFL already stands for not for long, and with that kind of putting your body through that kind of abuse, you're not going to make it all that long. So I completely agree with you, but yeah, Gilbert, just one of those games where you really have to, the Bills really have to sit back and look at everything because it's not just, it's Von Miller, it's Stephon Diggs. They've paid a lot of money to Tre'Davious White, who's now 2 years in a row been lost to injury as well. Matt Milano, obviously, another guy. And then I think Micah Hyde is a free agent. They have some guys that are about to hit free agency as well. So they have a lot of decisions to make over there. Yeah. So
and real quick, Fernando, like even like we're talking about the Ravens and the Chiefs being ahead of the Bills, like Joe Burrow was hurt. The Bengals are going to come up next year. How about those Texans with like a bunch of good star young players and the quarterback CJ Stroud? Like
and Tank Dell's going to return from injury next year.
Tank Dell, they've signed Jonathan Grenard, and you pair him with Will Anderson Jr. Derek Stingley's stepping up. D'Amico Ryan's being a good coach. Like. Man, they're going to be fun to watch, and like suddenly that window's getting a lot smaller. From like if I put you in the spot right now, which I'm going to do, like who do you have more confidence, the Texans or the Bills winning it like next year? Like I feel like the Texans.
Yeah, no, the only thing is that the Texans, they won the division. They're going to have a harder schedule next year, so that might be tougher. But so did the Bills also won their division, so their schedule is going to be tough.
We at least know they know how to get there. We haven't seen that with the Texans, but that future is bright.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm telling you, when I said on the pod last week, now everybody's looking at Ryan. Why do you think Ohio State's spending a spit ton of money over there on all these players that they're grabbing from Alabama? Because now everybody's looking at Ryan Day and being like, dude, what the hell? Like, you had all these players here, and you couldn't win national. You couldn't even beat Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, and you couldn't even win a national championship. What are you doing? So now he's over here like getting all these players from Alabama, all these transfers from Alabama, and they just got a quarterback from out here in San Diego who transferred over there. So yeah, they're going balls to the walls over there because they notice all the talent from CJ and from all these other guys.
Yeah, so maybe they don't get to like flourish in college, but they've set them up to do well in the NFL. But yeah, you know, it's funny because I was watching one of the interviews for CJ Stroud, and they asked him, hey, what do you think about Nico Collins going to Michigan? He's like, well, like I never beat Michigan, so what the hell can I say? I'm like, oh, okay.
D'Amico Ryans is already a better head coach than McDermott.
Yeah, that guy's good, man. When you see Desmond King making plays, you know he's coaching people.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that is that I mean, it's just that the Baltimore Ravens defense was so good, but man, it like, and you could just tell CJ is still missing weapons. Yeah. And I just feel like Houston's going to take advantage of that rookie contract. Like
maybe one more wide receiver to go with Tank Dell and Nico.
There's a guy in Tampa Bay who's about to be a free agent.
Yeah. There's Mike Evans. There's Calvin Ridley. There's T. Higgins. It's a good class. Free agents.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, who knows if they get
got money too.
But yeah, exactly. Folks, before we head to our Charger news, obviously we're going to tug at the heartstrings a little bit just because, when we talk about somebody being a compa, when we talk about somebody being a friend, we mean this from the bottom of our hearts. And obviously, one of our good friends, Doug Keed, you guys know him. He's been on the show before, whether it's Compas on the Beat, whether it's What's Up Bolts. Unfortunately, he lost his 2-year-old daughter to cancer. Haley, she was diagnosed with AML last April, and she died in her sleep Sunday morning. Oh my God. So very sad. Here's Doug and her and his family at Disneyland, and so very sad. So here's GoFundMe. Here's Doug's page. If you guys can give anything, that'd be awesome. Unfortunately, like I said, they passed away, or she passed away, and definitely our prayers are with Doug and his family at this time. It's so sad to see that they're going through this, and our hearts and our prayers are with them at this time, and always, to be honest. But if you guys can do anything, that'd be awesome. The GoFundMe's there, and his Twitter handles at Doug Keed. If you guys any little bit helps, and we would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. He's a great guy, great person, and awesome father. So yeah, just thank you guys.
And for now to add to that, he's been so gracious to us with his time, like you mentioned. He's been on Compas, he's been on What's Up Boats, and just seeing him at some events, like maybe the Super Bowl or the scouting combine, like he's just so gracious with his time, and he wants to like hang out and talk. And he asked about you too, like he asked, like, hey, how's it going, Fernando? Hey, like I know I just mentioned to Fernando Gilbert, but how you doing? I'm like, oh damn, that's pretty cool, because sometimes when you kind of meet a friend of a friend, it's not the same. But he was just so nice to me. And then that that guy has been so experienced on the NFL beat, getting to cover the Patriots for so many years, and just picking his brain and getting to know how this business works. And also part of PFF for a bit as a national insider, and always helpful. Like he always, if he thinks of you, like, hey, you might need this, he doesn't hesitate. So yeah, seeing that news about his daughter was devastating. But if you guys could help out, that'd be awesome. Because this guy is a good dude all around. A good father, and it's a crushing time for them. But hopefully we can help them out and make it a little better, and just remember her for the good times with her family.
Yeah, no, and like I said, Doug is one of a kind, truly, and his family. So yeah, no, thank you. All good things. Prayers and condolences to the family. So devastating. It's just very sad, but hopefully they get through this difficult time. Obviously, I couldn't imagine what it's like to lose a child. So hopefully they get through this. But like we said, any little bit helps. And again, thank you guys so much for that. But we just wanted to throw that out there. Like we said, a compa need, we're always going to help. So so we definitely wanted to throw that out there. Again, our prayers are with the Doug and his family. So but all right, Gilbert. So today, well, it was announced over the weekend that the Chargers were going to meet with a couple of candidates for their second interviews, but there's only been news about them meeting with one candidate as of right now.
Wow.
I don't know if that's because they got their guy, or if it's because the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens kind of screwed up the plans, or is it because more things are still going to come out and they're still planning everything out? But Adam Schefter did tweet out that the Chargers are well, let me actually, these are the words that Adam used. I did not use these words. His words are: Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh is expected to meet this week for a second time with the Los Angeles Chargers about their head coaching job. So the word interview wasn't even thrown in there, Gilbert.
Huh. I know Dan's excited about that second meeting.
He said, "Don't let him leave the building." Just Gilbert, what are your? Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm with Dan. You got to make sure he doesn't leave the building. But
Gilbert, after seeing what's going on with it, he was there in person on Saturday. He's seen what his brothers built, especially after the one Super Bowl that he won against him a couple of years ago, and seeing what he's built these last few years in Baltimore. And then obviously seeing Kansas City still kind of up top. But then obviously there's whispers about maybe Andy Reid might be walking into the sunset. Maybe Kelsey might be out. Who knows what's going to happen with their futures? What? And then the Texans are on the way up. Whatever. What are your thoughts about the Chargers meeting with Harbaugh again?
Yeah, it'd be kind of wild though. Like I know I'm kind of outside the box here, but if the 49ers and the Ravens play each other in the Super Bowl, after like what 12 years when the Harbaugh Bowl happened, it's like, okay, now that we get that matchup, he's back in the NFL. But I also wonder too, like he likes going to these Ravens games. Like, would it be awkward as a newly announced Chargers head coach to go watch his brother play against the Chiefs? Like I'm wondering, like, does that affect the timing of when this could happen? Like imagine you just got hired.
Binoculars and a notebook, Gilbert. He needs to have that.
Yeah, but like imagine you just got hired and you're like, why aren't you in Costa Mesa in your office doing work, but you're out there for your brother? So like, what if there's like a weird wrinkle? Like, you know what? Hire me after the AFC title game, and then we get that Pro Bowl bye week, and we're good. I'll bust my ass for that. But it seems like they're all in for Jim Harbaugh, even all the GMs that they're hiring. Or I mean, not hiring, but interviewing are somewhat connected to Jim Harbaugh. Maybe you could, correct me if I'm wrong, Fernando, because there's a bunch of people that are trying to interview. I'll read Coach Dan Ramirez here. Hope the Ravens shove them both into the sunset. Reed leaves and everything will fall. Yeah, like that'd be kind of the best outcome for your brother if the Ravens beat the Chiefs and then Andy Reid leaves. But a better outcome for Dan and a bunch of Chargers fans who might be watching right now is Jim Harbaugh just getting hired this week. We already seen Antonio Pierce getting hired. What's up, Pedro? It's up to you, Tocayo for Fernando because he's Ramirez. And then, you already got Pierce hired. You got Gerard Mayo, with the Patriots. I know those guys were already there, but it's about time. You got to hire some people, right? Like we need to, everything.
It's so slow. Pedro, did you see Shamu out over in National City out in the streets with all the flooding and everything? Shamu was in the streets of National City out there. You see him? But go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm good. I'm just like, I feel like at this point it's a waiting game. I don't even know what else to say.
But it's exactly what the NFL wanted.
Yeah.
It's exactly what the NFL wanted. They wanted this process to be slow, to be kind of, because I actually think that the Washington Commanders are going to wait. They're gonna wait until
Ben Johnson there. That's what I feel like.
Oh, you think? Oh, I thought it was gonna be Ben Johnson.
He's still coaching, so I feel like it's him. Sorry, who was your pick?
Ben Johnson.
That could be one too, and he's also coaching too.
I think Adam Peters might want to go that kind of route, but I don't know. But see, that's the thing. I think the Chargers kind of need to get somebody. Well, if it's him, like I don't know if you saw, but Sean Merriman said he ain't letting if the Chargers need him to go down there, he's not letting him leave the building. So
well, get Dan down there too in Costa Mesa and make sure he's not leaving.
Dan and Sean Merriman should team up together and go not let Jim leave the building. But
he also has interviews with the Falcons, right? Like it's kind of team and lurking.
You know what I'm actually wondering? I wonder if they even meet at that facility. That's not going to be their facility. So I wonder if they meet like at a hotel.
Give them the tour of El Segundo.
That's where I'm wondering. Do they meet there? Do they meet somewhere offside? Like I don't know, at a hotel or something. But see that's kind of that's what I'm wondering. The NFL, like I said, they wanted this. People in the streets kayaking, dude.
That's Tijuana.
Pedro, Tijuana's Tijuana, like they're literally like cars are underwater, like it's that bad. Like Tijuana was not made for rain. Like that's how bad that place is. But I just think as of right now, and you saw that report that the Bears didn't let Kellen Moore meet with or the Chargers didn't meet.
Oh, they did. They blocked them.
The Bears meet with Kellen Moore. I saw a lot of fans freak out, and they're like, Dan Quinn is the head coach loading, and I'm like, chill out.
No, you want to give your new coach at least a pick of who's going to come back, but then they hired Shane Waldron anyway, so it was for a reason.
Yeah, he is. I think he has a connection to the passing academy that Caleb Williams goes to. So
there you go.
So there's something. Yeah, there's something there. I think his style does not fit what Justin Fields does. So I'm kind of wondering what's
He
gonna happen
comes
if
from
the writing.
the McVay, Shanahan kind of tree.
Yeah, exactly. Are you buying any of the Harbaugh I don't think so. I don't think he would
Uh,
want something where there's no quarterback. I know he has the eighth
yeah.
pick, but like, I
There's
mean,
there's something there for him because he's a great businessman. He wants leverage, and you don't give him everything he wants, then he might just walk. And I think that's kind of the threat there. Like, hey, I'm gonna talk to somebody. That's why it's only two, right? It's not
yeah.
three, is there? Or am I missing something?
But
But you got that
that's what
leverage.
makes me think that he is gonna come back. He's never met with two teams in one off season. Like here, he's meeting with two teams and like talking to two teams. I feel like this is basically him positioning
Yeah,
himself to return.
was it last year Broncos, the year
The
before
year
that
before that,
Vikings?
the Vikings.
Yeah,
He's never talked to two teams from what
yeah.
like we know, because obviously there's backdoor stuff where but I just don't know if I'm believing, because are you really gonna draft JJ eighth overall? Like I know you like love him and everything, but like I'm sure you national championship love him, but do
Do
you Super Bowl love him?
you like Jaden Daniels? Do you like Michael Penix Jr., who he beat in the title game?
I don't know. Josue thinks that he might get hired this weekend. I don't know if on the weekend, Josue, because Saturday is not good for Fernando. It is the Royal Rumble, and then
Get it done Friday.
yeah, exactly. And then Sunday is I'm sure he wouldn't want to. I'm sure he wouldn't want to impose on his like brothers
Yeah,
like
that's Sunday.
moment. So regardless of like the
You know
outcome or
what?
whatever.
I'll say it happens Monday next week, maybe like a press conference Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. I'll say that. I think he
I'd
wants
be
to go to
interested to see
that
if
Ravens
Alberto
title
Manzano.
game. I think he wants to go there first. I don't know.
I'd be interested to see if Alberto Manzano would grace us with his presence.
Oh yeah, that's a big time conference. So I'm still
Yeah,
working right now. So wink, wink.
that'd be interesting to see you. But yeah, no, I could definitely see this getting done. I mean, is you kind of have to get this done, especially because, dude, I'm telling you, like the two, like again, I know social media counts for as much as you wanted to count for, but go look at the two highest posts that you saw. Like it was Vrabel and Harbaugh. Like
Yeah.
everything else was like a dud, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes not even that complicated. Like, oh, you don't want to believe in social media, or I guess what's the popular take? Well, these guys are really good coaches. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, like you got the
yeah.
popularity, vote, and then you also got really two good candidates. But again, if you're Mike Brady, you're like, you don't want to be a number two, so you better go and get Jim Harbaugh. Like, Brady
What do
could be
you
like, F that.
I don't know. I don't know what this means for Kellen Moore. I mean, maybe it's just like kind of just like maybe a fall just in case if it's
No,
Vrabel.
it's just
You're
an
like, hey,
option.
we have
Like if you're
yeah,
Harbaugh, you're probably thinking like, how many coaches? Hey, Justin, get in my office. How many coaches have you had? Damn, that's a lot
yeah.
of coaches. Maybe we should keep this Kellen Moore. But honestly, it's more like, hey, just have that option. But it does suck for Kellen Moore, who is like has to wait.
Well, I mean, because I'm gonna be honest. Kellen Moore to me, like his system, just
I didn't like it.
him and Harbaugh, I don't think fit together. I don't think their styles fit. And then
Well, he likes to run the football, or not say he likes to. He's a balanced attack, and Kellen was really
because
kind of like push
I
it.
do remember Anthony Lynn was. I do remember Anthony Lynn when he first came in. It was either keep Ken Wisenhunt or
Right. Yeah.
keep Pagano, and he kept Ken Wisenhunt. I know Staley didn't have that same issue, so and I mean
Hey,
obviously you're not going to throw
Lynn
any
knew right
coach.
away that he had something to stake, and that's why he made the move. But that's
Exactly.
credit for him there.
Yeah. But here, I mean, you're not going to tell Jim Harbaugh, hey, you have to
Yeah,
keep Kellen Moore. Like it's if
it's
Jim wants
different.
to keep Kellen Moore. So Belichick putting his eggs into one basket without being sure he's gonna, I highly doubt it. I
Yeah,
mean, that's the thing though, too. Like, does he really have any other choice? Like, there's no really other teams that really want Bill Belichick. The only thing that I could see, like, the only other job I could see him possibly getting is if like the Bills let go of McDermott,
yeah.
then maybe Bill Belichick is up for that job. But I just see that it's the Falcons and that's it. But they're saying that there's like I saw somewhere that they're saying that that God, Arthur Blank check. Arthur Blank really wants Bill Belichick. So
Yeah, I think
you
they're
see
gonna
that
get it
picture
done.
circulating where he was supposedly at a Chick-fil-A?
Who?
Bill
Bill?
Belichick?
No.
Oh, they
Getting
were saying
ready?
like the day he was in Atlanta, he was at like I don't know if it was true or not, but I saw a picture and I'm like, dude, is he really at a Chick-fil-A? Like, I just thought it was funny, but
They could buy a couple during game days right there.
no, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not open on Sundays.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Even
about
that one's not open on Sundays.
So dumb. They have a Chick-fil-A in that stadium, but they don't have it on
Pedro
Sunday.
thinks he gets hired before the AFC Championship. That'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I get waiting for the head.
Let's say right here. I'm gonna say Monday of next week. What are you saying?
Shit, that was an old photo. Damn. Damn, Anthony, thanks for killing the vibe for me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that looked like an old photo because he didn't have as much. Like he had some gray hair, but it looked like he had just hit the Just for Men. And yeah, so that didn't look
at
like
this. Well, it's coming from Anthony. He still need to go through a few more second round interviews, right? Like it can't be one guy. I don't know. No, keep it
like
going.
I just think you have to get this done. Like,
Thursday and this week.
You have to.
All right.
Like, yeah, like, and I understand. Like Ben, that's the thing though. Like he said, like Ben Johnson and McDonald. I'm sure those are two great. The thing is, McDonald is 36 years old, and he's a great defensive coordinator. But does that translate to being a
kind of worrisome?
And
that's why I
then
feel like maybe like the Commander, like you're talking about Commanders with Ben Johnson, but like he's an offensive guy. What the hell do they have there? They don't even have a quarterback. They have McLaurin, and that's it.
But they're gonna have the second overall pick, Jaden Daniels.
Okay, Drake May. Okay, never mind. So that could be into play, but I really like Mike McDonald. His defense is really good.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing, and then okay, but that's another thing that Dan and I were watching the game, and he's like, man, if I was Motor City Dan Campbell, let's just say that they lose the Super Bowl or don't make it to the Super Bowl. If I was him, I'd be like, you know what, Ben, let's make you the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. Let's keep you one more, like let's try and keep you one more year. Look at these jobs, like the Commanders, like like those jobs suck. Let's wait one more cycle. There'll be better jobs. Just wait one more year. But yeah, I just think that they're like the guy is there. I mean, it looks like he's at that point. If he was going to go back to Michigan, in my opinion, I think he would have already have done it. We're at what, January 22nd. You don't think he would have already have gone back to Michigan? Like
you gotta recruit and stuff like that.
Exactly. And then I saw that video of him. And I know he said the changing of the guard, but I just thought in my opinion, I just thought he was talking about the changing of the guard. Like there was changing of the guard, obviously, was I think he was talking about like 44 seniors or 44 players are leaving for the draft. So I mean, that's what I think he was talking about. So I don't think he's talking about like, oh, like I'm gonna leave. But at the same time, like, because Harbaugh's smart. Harbaughh knows how to play the game. He knows how to. He knows how to play poker. He knows what he's doing. So, I'm just interested to see what's all going to go down. But everybody keeps on saying that this is and then like there's some other NFL people that are basically other NFL people say, oh yeah, this has been done for a couple of weeks now. This is all just
Anthony with some breaking news.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Callahan from the Bengals. People really liked him. That's interesting.
Wow, Brian Callahan to the Titans. Yeah, to the Titans.
Yeah, formerly the Bengals.
Yeah. Thank you for that one, Anthony. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's a surprise name that we didn't see coming, and he got a bunch of interviews, so that's interesting.
And you know what? I thought Raheem Morris was going to go there, or one of those. I thought Raheem, a defensive guy, was going to go there.
Yeah, but I thought more offense because they did it with Bravo for so long that the Mayor kind of wanted something new, and they got it done. So that maybe to your point, Fernando, people are getting hired. Just get it over with. Get Jim Harbaugh in there. Why not?
What if in the next I
know what happens right now.
Nah, it won't happen right now. It'll have to be when there's I'm telling you, for an announcement like this, it would have to be something like a Wednesday or a Thursday where there's nothing really going on, and then bang, like
want the attention.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, I don't know. Dan's saying that's the best place.
Dan wants like a job on Brian Callahan's coaching staff because he loves Nashville.
You can say, Dan, the way you deliver it is completely different from what we say. So
you can talk about how the Chiefs are so amazing. So you got plenty to talk about.
No, well, we kind of talked about that, Dennis. We just think that it's right now everything. They're just kind of waiting to see what shakes out from everything, and then they're gonna see how they move forward. Because right now, I mean, you're kind of waiting to see what happens with Jim, with Mike, Vrabel, and then obviously, did Ben Johnson win his game? He did. Mike or whatever other candidates they feel like are the strongest. And but as of right now, the only person that they have on the docket to interview, according to Adam Schefter, is Jim Harbaugh. So that's going to be the interesting part of it. But Josue, that's the one thing though. They don't have a GM yet because I mean I know that they've interviewed other people outside of it, but even oh, I don't want to
I bet
butcher.
that comes first, Fernando. I think the GM comes first.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody connected to Jim Harbaugh to make it even more obvious, and then yeah.
Well, it's Ian Cunningham. Well, all the candidates that they've hired up to a certain extent were all connected to him. Even the person that they interviewed today, Don
He has a connection too.
Aponte. Yeah, I guess I saw somewhere that she had a connection to Jim Harbaugh.
Jeez,
So yeah, it just
that'd be
it
interesting.
yeah. Now I know what you're laughing at. Uh,
What's up, man?
but yeah, it just feels like, man, I'm telling you, if they go, because we're also kind of waiting to see what the Raiders are gonna do, because Ed Dobbs is also up for the job
Yeah,
there, Champ Kelly, and then obviously we can't forget about Tom Telesco. Tom
yeah.
Telesco
That
is
it's kind
obviously,
of weird that they have Kelly doing the interviews, and then like you're not gonna
and
keep
then
him.
you're making him.
He might be like a number two for somebody. It seems kind of weird. Like Ed Dobbs or Telesco could probably get it.
It's from what I understood from Vic Tafer was that he would be the number two to one of those guys.
That's what it feels like.
And I'm kind of like, whoa, so you basically made him the interim and then you kick him back to number two.
Well,
So
it's also tough because like if he looks out there, like maybe nobody wants him. He's like, well, I don't have a job opening for a GM. Why not just stay where I am as a number two? Get to learn through Ed Dobbs or Tom Telesco. But just to kind of give you some analysis real quick on Tom Telesco, like yeah, his draft classes were not the best, but he knows how to at least get the first round pick right, and he knows how to fix your salary cap. He knows how to retain players that they drafted. He's he's very savvy with contracts, so he's a good GM. It's just like when you want to hit on your other picks, that's really when they struggle, or when he struggles.
but I mean, that's kind of the basics of being a
Yeah,
good
but
general manager.
for the
So
Raiders, it's kind of like,
they don't know how
hey,
to hit on their
it's not
first
bad. Yeah, hit on your first
round.
rounders. And also he will definitely run a tight ship. All the chaos and the noise outside, he's good at kind of blocking that out. Some people might disagree with the methods, but he's pretty good at stuff like that too.
I'm wondering I'm wondering kind of what I mean, I wonder if the division is also kind of at play as well. You know, like, oh, the former Chargers
Yeah,
GM,
he knows intel.
yeah, he's been there for 11.
Yeah, I know he's laughing at your brother, but shout out to Victor producer. Good point there on Mark Davis, and then
Well,
Dan.
you can't afford to go with like, especially because you have, and I understand what Vic's saying there. You have a rookie head coach in a sense. You kind of have to get a
Yeah,
veteran there as a
it's
general
not bad.
manager
Can
to,
you
yeah,
still keep the interim GM? Like
yeah. But you need somebody in there
yeah,
who,
but I wouldn't rule out Ed Dobbs though. He came very close to getting the job last time around, and they wanted Ziegler to be paired with McDaniels.
I've seen some of the stories that have come out about Ed Dobbs, and I'm like, oh crap, like he does not like softness.
I was gonna
So
say
like,
that picture looks like he used to be like a military
yeah, like
sergeant.
I've seen some stuff from him, and like there was one where I guess like players were celebrating something, and he's like, we didn't like. No, the team that eliminated them from the playoffs or something, like they went on to win the Super Bowl. The players were like, well, at least like that was the team that beat us, went to the Super Bowl. And he's like, what the hell kind of crap is that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and that he kind of crapped on players for that. I don't know. I saw
I
like
don't know
I saw
about
something.
after we're going through that kind of stint with Josh McDaniels. Do you want that with Ed Dobbs? You kind of want more like this is good times. We're the Raiders. We chill out. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
I well,
Not too mellow, but Pierce knows how to be a hard ass too.
well, yeah. But well, see, that's the thing is that's what I'm wondering what the charge, because obviously the Chargers are gonna want somebody. If you're gonna go out and get, and that's the thing, is that you're gonna kind of have to get a yin to the yang of, if you
Yeah,
whatever your head coach
true.
is, You kind of get the yin and the yang, I think, when it comes to that's kind of how I see the general manager head coaching position. Like even when it was Ozzie Newsome and John Harbaugh, yin and the yang. So that's kind of what I'm wondering what's gonna happen with
Yeah.
this. But
I don't know if I see
uh,
Telesco also being cool with cigars in the locker room either, too.
no,
They're kind
and
of
then
the
no, but not just that, not just the cigars in the locker room, the media being in there recording the
yeah.
videos
And
and
the
posting
Raiders are
them.
pretty open about all that stuff too. So
And then Max Crosby has a podcast. No, you're laughing, but
no,
I'm
that's what I'm
serious.
saying. I'm thinking like which Charger. I guess if it's controlled by the Chargers, the other players didn't really have their own podcast, right? Outside of
No,
it, unless
Drew
I'm blanking.
Tranquil.
Outside of Chargers, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
Drew
right.
Tranquil had his own, but I mean, that's different than like your
Your star player.
star
Yeah.
player. And remember, your star player came out and said, like, I will request a trade if he's not the head coach. Or no, he didn't say it. He said anything is on the table if he's not the head coach. So those are things that Tom Telesco is not gonna like
Yeah.
when it comes to
But you're right. Maybe they do want like a little mix up. So Ed Dobbs and Telesco are very different from AP. And then you keep Champ Kelly too.
And Telesco and Ed Dobbs, from everything that I've read in the sense of how Ed Dobbs is, and then obviously me dealing with Tom for the last 11 years, they seem like completely different. So that's kind of where it's gonna see. I think it's everything. It's gonna be, how does AP mesh with them? How does Champ mesh with them? How does Mark Davis mesh with them? So that's kind of where this is going to go. I think all three are going to have to mesh with this person. That's where it's kind of,
I'm kind of like hoping Telesco gets a job to see a familiar face in the AFC West. Why not?
I'm interested to see where this goes, because like you're saying it right now. Like, I'm just wondering how this is going to go with all of them. But Telesco's a veteran. He's hit on, like you said, he's hit on draft picks, the cap numbers. And I mean, even the cap this year, I know everybody keeps on freaking out about the cap number that the Chargers have, but like Gilbert, like you and I both know, any competent general manager can get themselves out of this cap. It's not cap room. It's not what the Saints are facing right now. It's, you can get out of it with 2 or 3 movements. You can get out of this cap situation.
It's also a good time to get younger too. A lot of these old guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, so it'll be interesting to see kind of where this is headed. But if you kind of had to, I think it's going to either be, I think it's either going to be, it's going to be somebody, because if they go general manager, you're basically going to give it away. Don't you think? Like, if you go general manager with Cunningham, or the kid out of the Giants,
Brown,
or the guy from the Ravens, you're basically indicating where the hell you're or you're into who?
Ed Dobbs, he's interviewed with the Chargers, right?
No, yeah. But I was talking about the Horvitz.
Oh, yeah, I'm blanking. I'm not the best.
I'm terrible with them too. But they've interviewed 2 guys from the Ravens, 1 from the Giants, and 1 from the Bears. All 4 of them are connected to.
You mentioned the one they interviewed today too.
Yeah, exactly. So all 5 of them are connected. So that's going to be the interesting. Oh, here we go. Pedro's already making moves. But I think you come out with both, Gilbert, to be honest. I think you come out with both at the same time and you say, we've hired both of these guys. You fired them both together. You hired them both together.
There you go.
I mean, that way you don't give away your hand. That way you don't do anything out of off cuff. You just
why make people wait?
Yeah, exactly. Anthony, real quick, why would TT not like that? What are you talking about? What do you not?
I mean, the cigars that I mentioned in the
so Tom, in a sense, is very, like, he wants everything in house. Like, he doesn't want that stuff kind of getting out. When they did Hard Knocks, he did not like Hard Knocks. He didn't like that kind of stuff. AP and oil and water from a person. Telesco really doesn't like any of that stuff getting out. He prefers everything to kind of stay in house, and like the smoking cigars in the locker room. Like, oh, he'd be reunited with Jerry Tillery.
Yeah, he might not make the team though.
I don't know. He survived to this point. I think Telesco would definitely get him back. But All good things. Honestly, like we haven't even. We're still waiting on the head coach and everything. So we haven't really gotten into draft mode yet, but we will pretty soon.
How about the
Um,
NFC title game preview?
yeah. Let's get just real quick. He's gonna cut Tillery. All right, Gilbert. Adam Schefter again on the Pat McAfee show said it's 50-50 if Deebo Samuel plays. He said this shoulder injury is similar to the shoulder injury that he sustained against the Cleveland
Yeah,
Browns.
took a couple games.
Exactly. He missed 2 games and then obviously the bye week and then came back for that game against Jacksonville. Gilbert, I'm a little bit concerned from everything that I saw on Saturday from the 49ers.
Yeah,
I thought their defense took a dip. I didn't see almost anything from Chase Young. I didn't see almost anything from that pass rush. That secondary was a little bit sus, as the kids like to say. Are you worried about the San Francisco 49ers this weekend?
yeah, but before I give you the negative, I'll give them some positive. Like I like the one thing I keep wanting to see with the 49ers, stop playing like you're like this flashy, kind of diva like team. Everything has to go perfect. You can't have injuries. You got to have a full roster, and then they're getting beat up. They needed a rally. No Deebo Samuel. Well, guess what? It's never gonna be a perfect game script. It's not gonna be a pretty. It's the freaking playoffs. So for them to do that and pull it out. We know the record with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco with playing from behind in the fourth quarter. You kind of get that out of your I guess the monkey off your back, kind of like, hey, Brock Purdy had a terrible game. Hey, you still got that game-winning drive. So everything kind of worked out. But then you remember that was a 7 seed. That was a 7 seed Packers team that won 9 games. Then you see Baltimore just steamroll the Texans after they woke up in the first half. They steamrolled them in the second half. You wanted to see that from the 49ers. But hey, the whole narrative, they can't win in the fourth quarter. Brock Purdy can be the guy in crunch time. At least they got that out of the way. But then you're right. The real problems, Fernando, defensively, that was my biggest problem with them in this matchup with the Packers. If he's able to kind of get away from the pocket, extend plays. Now, Jared Goff is not known for that, kind of getting away from the pocket. That's why Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Armstead, and Javon Hargrave, it's kind of ridiculous how many players they have on that defensive front, and they're still couldn't get it done. But they couldn't get pressure on Jordan Love, and that exposed their weak secondary. Yeah, they have Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Both of them are really good. I think those 2 guys saved the day, by the way. But he was picking them apart. And then they kind of slowed down in the second half, made some good adjustments. Shout out to Steve Wilkes right there. But yeah, you should have blown out that team. I get it. You had a 20-day layoff, but so did the Ravens. And maybe you want to go through a bad first half. Cool. But you know what? Maybe thinking about the Jared Goff thing and Jordan Love, it might be a little easier. But then offensively, you lose something there with Deebo Samuel. Like, he is a mismatch nightmare. Obviously, you get that with Christian McCaffrey, but then you lose it when you have 2 is better than 1, right? To keep it simple. I like that Brandon Ayuk stepped up. I like that Kittle stepped up. I like that Purdy made plays in the fourth quarter. But don't give me this crap about being a rainy game in Levi Stadium. I don't know what that means, rain. But
No, George Kittle does that when he makes.
oh yeah, and that was a good throw, by the way. That touchdown pass from Purdy to Kittle, but he just missed too many throws. Maybe that he won a playoff game like that, and maybe it gives his confidence a little better. But it was just ugly, not pretty, and maybe that's a good thing for the 49ers to win in an ugly fashion. There's Alonzo, our resident 49ers fan. Championship teams find ways to win even when they don't deserve it, and maybe that's why it's finally the year for the 49ers, because not everything needs to be pretty. Maybe you don't have a Deebo Samuel, and you adjust. So it was
Bro,
ugly.
that stat on Kyle Shanahan was nuts.
Yeah.
0-30.
And that's why I'm saying maybe that's a good thing. You get that out of the way. But again, it was a 7 seed. You should have, crushed them. And now you might not have Deebo Samuel. And I said this, you can take it after this for now. I wrote about it today. And I'm thinking these Detroit Lions might have more weapons than the 49ers. Like, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
People
I
were
like
shitting on you in the comments.
I know they were. I don't care. And like, okay, you got Christian McCaffrey at running back, but you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery. That's 2. 2 is better than 1. I feel like. Are you talking about offensive line? Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson was probably hurt. But Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, these guys are all reliable.
The Lions have the best offensive line in the NFL.
There you go. So they're not all pros, but they're star caliber players. And I do worry about the 49ers with the Detroit Lions, but hey, they finally won a game playing from behind.
I worry about the Detroit Lions left guard, their center, both hurt.
Yeah.
But Nick Bosa, you kind of disappeared at times. Like, there's some things missing there from the 49ers. But Pedro, I don't know, bro.
Oh,
They're not gonna be in Detroit. The noise isn't gonna be there for Detroit. So I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna be like. Because remember, they were good in Detroit. Now they're gonna be out of Detroit. I'm wondering what they're gonna be like on the road in the playoffs. Like it's gonna be a whole different beast out in Santa Clara. So I'm definitely interested to see what they're gonna be like on the road. Again, if Debo doesn't play, I still think that they have enough weapons, but that's going to be the thing. You're going to need a perfect game from Jared Goff. I know he's had two. Well, the game against the Rams, he was okay. This last game, he was better.
it's pretty good.
But
the whole thing about not extending the plays kind of worries me because you got to face those that front.
Yeah, Pedro, but that was the first game of the season. I don't know. I'm still they
Also,
they
don't
can
sleep on their
they can
defense,
definitely
Miranda.
do it.
I thought their defense actually set
That's
up
the
for Aaron
thing.
Glenn.
Their defense it worries me. The Lions' defense,
But I like what they did to the Buccaneers. It's the Buccaneers, I get that, but there was a good game plan.
yeah, but that was a lot of drop pass. Like Mike Evans had a couple of
Yeah,
drop
he did.
passes. Like those guys had a lot of.
But those blitzes from Brian Branch and Melifano, I really like seeing that.
By the way, those two guys, man, just the way those guys have drafted in the last few years, like those two guys are elite. Like Brian Branch, I completely forgot he was an Alabama player. Like,
yeah,
they're just elite players that make big time plays. The only guy that worries me is Sutton. Sutton's always doing some weirdo stuff that you're just like, dude, what are you like? Why? Like, why are you doing half of the stuff that you're doing? But no, they have, like I said, they have some good players. It's just like, and that was another thing that was pissing me off about Tampa Bay. Like, they were just letting guys go loose and free. And like in one of those, the running back, he just let Brian Branch go right through because he slipped.
Yeah.
And he just let him sack Baker Mayfield. And you're like, dude, come on. Like, you're just letting guys go free. So
it kind of felt like when Todd Bowles blitzed the crap out of Jalen Hurts, like nobody gave him protection. And it was kind of similar to that.
Yeah. But I mean, they have their guy. Like, I'm wondering what kind of shit what's his name is gonna talk. Gardner Johnson's gonna talk.
I know that guy loves to talk. But,
that guy loves talking, and I mean, it seems like whenever he talks, they back it up. Well, except for
they have good safeties, Fernando. They don't have good corners, and they're actually one of the best teams at stopping the run. So you take away McCaffrey, that could be a problem too.
That's going to be another thing too, because the Bucks at one point they were running they had some big runs.
That screenplay of Rashad White was pretty good too.
Yeah. So I mean, that's going to kind of be that. There are some questions there, like can they go on the road? Can they win on the road?
Yeah,
but
they're still overall an inexperienced team. So that's a good point about being on the road environment.
Alonso's going to hate me for this one, but I worry about Kyle Shanahan the most. I don't even worry about Brock Purdy. Yeah. I worry about Kyle Shanahan. Like there is just some weird things there about him. Like I don't know what happens with that guy, but they're lucky they made it out
of from Reynolds, formerly of the Rams, sticking into the 49ers. How about that? That'd be kind of an interesting storyline. Good point. All good things.
I'm just wondering what's gonna this game is. I just wish that the Chiefs and the he worries about him too. And then I'm gonna be honest, Gilbert, they missed D'Amico Ryans. I know Steve Wilkes is good, but I think they missed D'Amico Ryan. And then that the safety, the one that tore his ACL, I can never pronounce his name.
Ufanga.
They really miss him. That dude back there was a beast. It is getting hot here, as Nelly would
secondary, say. Man. But that's why I'm saying, like with Jordan Love, he could really expose him. I don't know if I got the same sense with Jared Goff, but Jared Goff could pick him apart in the middle of the field, like Samuel Porter, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those guys get open, and if he has protection.
Whoa! You're forgetting one guy.
Jameson Williams?
No, they just signed somebody today.
What? This is such a random signing.
Zach Ertz. I just think it's so funny that people who love talking on Twitter, they're like, "Wait, they can sign him today? Like,
I know
is it a trade or what's going on?" I'm like, "No, it's not a trade, you dipshits! Like, they signed him like he's a free agent. They can sign him whenever they want." But now I'm interested to see their two tight end sets with Sam Laporta and with And with those guys, Branch and those guys are
Isn't
dogs.
it weird? They have a slot cornerback and 2 good safeties. Actually, 3 safeties because I
Yeah,
like CJ, and I don't know about Kirby Joseph. He's kind of a dirty player, but he's decent. And then you got Malafano, but they don't got a freaking outside corner. It's so weird.
bro. I'm sorry. He's not a dirty player. That's just the way they want to play. Like,
I guess. All right, fine. But yeah.
you don't want me to hit
Yeah.
you up high. I'm going to hit you
And
down low.
also, Stafford threw a terrible ball in the middle of the field. Protect the guy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he's not going to blame himself, though.
Obviously.
He's going to blame, he's
But I
not.
like
Yeah.
that he called them out. Like, you're dirty. It's not my fault.
I saw a video of Kelly Stafford like talking crap to Lions fans, and then she's like, "Oh, they were yelling at my daughters," and I'm like, "You were talking crap too to Lions fans. Like, what are you talking about?" But yeah, no, I this game is gonna be pretty good. I just wish that the Ravens and Chiefs game was the later game, but I understand the West Coast game. Obviously, they're gonna put
I think they're both
later
good
or whatever.
games. Well,
But
honestly, we could get 2 if you want. You want to move on? That'd be our last game.
yeah, let's do that.
Will it be close? That's the thing.
That I think that's why they put it in the early slot. I think they're expecting a blowout in this game. I think here it's gonna be, can Lamar get over his demons and kind of relax and stay ahead of the game? Because I'm gonna be honest, outside of like Zay Flowers, I mean, Mark Andrews should be back, so that's gonna be a huge plus. Likely is a great.
I like him.
My bad. Mark Andrews is great. Likely is very good. And then Zay Flowers. And then there's kind of a drop off. Odell's good for 2 catches in a game. Rashad Bateman is hit and miss. That's the only question that I have when it comes to this offense, is that I still think they're too Lamar dependent, and I feel like they're going to need some help. But I could see the Ravens run away with this. Why? Because I think their defense could bait the Chiefs into mistakes. But I don't know what you think about this game, but I think that Ravens defense, man, what I saw from them, I mean, and it's what we've seen from them against the Lions, against a lot of teams, man. When I told you after that Chargers game, I went into the locker room and I asked Kyle Van Noy, I'm like, "Hey Kyle, like, what do you think about this defense?" And he's like, I don't want to just concentrate on the defense. Like, I think the team overall. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, he's like, the defense, like, we're all monsters, and some of us came together late. That's the thing, though. Like, they signed Jadeveon Clowney like right at the end, like right before training camp was over, and they signed Kyle Van Noy on like a Thursday or a Friday, was on the Pat McAfee show. On Monday or Tuesday, he was signed by the Ravens. Like, that's how crazy all this was. And they signed him, and he had almost 10 sacks this year, or he had 10 sacks. And then Jadeveon Clowney had 10. Justin, remind me of his name.
I don't want to butcher it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I thought you knew it.
No, I gotta practice.
Okay, I need to practice it too, because
he was creating push, man, against the Texan offensive line. He was dominant.
That's why I'm saying, like, that guy had 13 and a half. So every team that they've gone up against, every team that they've gone up against that has a winning record, they've kind of blown them out. Like the Lions, the 49ers, like, they've gone up against some of these big time teams. I mean, I can even look it up on their I
feel like Victor was joking when he mentioned Nelson Aguilar, but he's on the roster too.
Hey, Nelson Aguilar was big in that Super Bowl when they beat the when they beat the Patriots. Don't you remember that guy? Don't you remember that guy? The one that was like,
Aguilar.
He's like, I was better than Nelson Aguilar catching them babies out of the building when the building was on fire. But
you know, let me give you one more thing for him,
because blew out the Seahawks. They blew out the they were close to the Rams, but they blew out the Jags. They blew out a lot of they blew out the Dolphins. So yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, maybe they don't have the most firepower, but you know what they have? They have great coaching. And with Todd Monken, the play calls that he had against the Texans, like, we've seen RPOs done before, but when you got RPOs with Lamar Jackson, that really could confuse you, throw you off. And I love how I think it was 4th and 1, and they called an RPO, and Jackson just took it to the left, and he got an easy first down. Orale, Jorge, what's up to you? And then they called it again, RPO to the right side. It's more like a quarterback sweep. And everybody thought he's going to run with the ball, and Isaiah Likely wide open. So things like that mental game, knowing when to pick your spots for an RPO or go down the field. So, that's going to be an issue, I think, for the Chiefs there. And, I want to say that overall, the Ravens got like 222 rushing yards on the Texans. The Chiefs defense got gashed by the Bills. And when you see Dalvin Cook making a few plays, shout out to the Jets there. He's like, thank God I'm out of the Jets because I'm making some plays here, Dalvin Cook. Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. These guys are not even like, obviously Cook is not in his prime, but not even, star running backs because you have Lamar Jackson and you got 100 yards running, you got another 100 yards passing. It just throws a lot of confusion. And Todd Monken, man, to his credit, he really, helped out with the development of Lamar Jackson because people are like criticizing him for as a passer, but he's making some plays. He's not a run first quarterback. I know some people like to joke that he is some guy who goes on Compas regularly, but he's having a great MVP season, and I think it's going to be too much, I feel like, for the Chiefs defense.
He had 11 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then obviously passing
Each,
16 for 22, 152, and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, and then like you mentioned, Hill 13 carries, 66, Edwards 10 carries, 40. So, so definitely, so definitely, like I said, it's gonna be interesting, but I feel like that's why that's the early game, like because it really could go either way.
And then even crapping on the Chiefs, like offense, like this might be the game where like they don't have enough because that's such a dominant defense. Like, yeah, you got Rashee Rice and Kelsey and Pacheco, but like you need a few more
really
guys.
Have anything after that?
Do you see MVS doing something? You think Tony's gonna get activated? Do you think I guess Skymore could come back, but what's he gonna do?
Marlon Humphrey still hasn't played. He might like he was close last week.
Imagine adding more to that defense.
Yeah. And it kind of feels like that year that the Ravens won with Joe Flacco, it kind of felt like that was their year, especially after that. Remember that throw? It was like second or third and long in Denver, and he throws that pass to Jacoby Jones, and Jacoby Jones runs it like 70 yards. Like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It kind of felt, and it feels like here. It's crazy the way everything's going. Real quick, Jaime Harbaugh is coming to the Chargers this week. Lots of smoke, and Chargers only have one scheduled second interview with him. The stars are aligning. Jorge really wants Dan Dago as the assistant offensive line coach, I think, too. So he's definitely excited. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing? Nancy, it was funny. Another compa on here. We were joking around, and I was like, oh, did you see Shamu over in National City? Because like some Dago TV on Instagram, they put a picture of Shamu in National City because it was all what's it called? It's all flooded all over San Diego. So yeah, this weather is definitely.
It's raining all over California because it was raining at Levi's, it was raining in LA, raining in San Diego.
I was gonna go to Tijuana this morning and I couldn't go because it's so flooded down in Tijuana. Please, Ravens, we do not. You know what's so funny? Like I'm actually like I was on Twitter and everybody's like, Ravens, please help us. Like we do not want to see Taylor Swift and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Like literally the Ravens are like the last like hope for all these NFL fans that don't want to see these guys. But honestly, like I actually thought the best part of the game yesterday was Jason Kelce. I thought Jason Kelce was like on one yesterday.
He made that a luxury suite much better. Like, I don't want to see Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift. I want to see Jason Kelce pound a couple years.
The one where she grabs Taylor Swift and shakes her. A lot of Swifties were not happy about that because they're like, she's worth more than that whole franchise.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it. Patrick Mahomes' dad is right in front of them, and he turns around and he looks at them, and he just gives like a nasty look. I just started laughing. I was like, that is hilarious. But I'm interested to see what if Jason really does retire, I'm interested to see what he's going to do. But he said on his show, he has not announced that he's retiring, that he pulled kind of a Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, and he said some stuff to see who the leak was. So he could be coming back. So yeah, who knows? I mean,
he wants to do it on his show, on his podcast. He got to.
I wonder if Michelle Tafoya is right, and they're both just going to retire together this offseason and just be like, you know what? We're both going to retire. We're going to do something. I think Fox needs to hire Jason, and Fox needs to hire Jay, and then CBS needs to hire Travis. If they're
I don't know if I see Taylor Swift with the former player. He needs to be active to be hanging out with her.
So he needs to go to Germany and get the Kobe surgery
Yeah,
and make
just
sure he's
keep going because he got to
biotic
be on the
and
spotlight. He can't
everything.
be a nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I completely so Jorge says yes, Dan and Diego on the charge would be glorious.
Hey,
Uh
I don't know if you want Fernando might be too time consuming, but that tweet that I saw from Adam Hill where he's playing
oh, let me
Taylor
grab it.
Swift to the sad Bills fan just had me cracking up. And I know Adam, you do too now, and that's something he will pull. Going straight to a Bills bar and then just playing Taylor Swift on the jukebox
Let me grab
nonstop, while people kind of cry and feel sad. But
it.
we'll pull it up in a bit.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like I mean, I just think it's the fact that people like show her on national TV. I think that's what people don't like. But yeah, Brittany, I can understand.
I'm already
I can,
taken, Jorge. Don't tell that to my girl.
yeah, no, I can see Taylor and Hilberto. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't
She
know if she
seems
likes
to
Mexicans either. I don't know, but
yeah, I don't think she's into that stuff. But
that stuff.
well, yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Look at this. So Adam Hill, he's at a bar and he just sees a Bills fan. Okay, just real. I can't play the rest of the song because we
Man,
don't want to get dinged or whatever.
yeah.
Because I'm used to getting
Just
dinged.
seeing the
But
water bottles there, like, I feel like always friends left them. Hey, you gotta, kind of like, chill. It's been a rough day. Just drink your water and go home. And then you have Adam walking in playing from the jukebox.
Adam Hill, you guys need to go follow Adam Hill. Adam Hill covers the Raiders. He's a going above ours. You guys have seen him probably on the show. We'll probably have him on during Super Bowl week. There was a sad Bills fan at the bar and he just started playing Taylor Swift songs. He did not care. So it was definitely hilarious to see him do that to him. But yeah, that guy was not having a good day. So yeah, going to the Bills bar and loading the jukebox with Taylor Swift songs is oddly enjoyable. Yeah, Adam's definitely a different level of troll. Yeah, no, I'm what you go, Brown. You
Yeah.
keep coming around.
I don't have Travis Kelsey money, but I could get you some tacos and some modelos, and it'll be a nice time.
I mean, I'm just saying, but yeah, definitely some interesting stuff heading into man, this is gonna be an interesting couple of days coming up.
Yeah. If
Jason Kelsey is lucky to be alive. Bills fans were unloading snowballs. Oh my god, they
I
really
kept
were.
seeing snowballs just flying through the camera, the TV camera. I'm like, what the hell is going on over there?
Dude, and one of those Dan and Dago's like, they did not just throw a flag. I'm like, no, I think it was a snowball. And then he's like, oh, okay, good. He's like, I was just checking. But
Yeah, but
but
anyways, Fran, I feel like we might have to jump on our live soon because you might be right. This Harbaugh news could drop at any moment.
or whoever they hire at head coach, you never know.
Yeah, sorry.
But
Yeah,
yeah, because you never know who. That's the problem though with all this stuff. Like it all seems like it's pointing one way, but you just never know with any of this stuff. But I don't want Charger fans to be like that Bills fan, so that's what I'm worried about. I don't want them. Yeah, I don't want them to be in the bar like that.
and Quinn hired, Kellen Moore retained.
That would be Dan and Dago, to be honest. If that
Sorry.
happened, he would. I would. Yeah, no, I don't even want to think like that. But but yeah, no, but yeah, like Gilbert said, if once this head coach and general manager news drops, we will jump on and we will discuss it. What do you say? Come on, man. You and I and our grandmas know who the next head coach is gonna be. Jorge, honestly, bro, like I'm just saying, like, you just don't know. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm telling you, the NFL. Remember, Josh McDaniels is gonna be the Colts head coach. I don't like to speak ill of people who are sick or something's wrong with them, but one bathroom trip screwed it all up. Like,
One bathroom through.
yeah, like remember, then he pulled out and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go back to New
Yeah, we've
England."
seen handshakes occur, people pull out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's yeah, I don't know, but that's gonna be me for real playing Tragos Amargos if it don't happen. I yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, last time Adam Schefter did announce he thought Brian Dable was going to be the head coach, and then the Chargers did end up hiring Brandon Staley.
Yeah,
So
it's like
yeah,
slow down. Yeah, so
so yeah, that's why everybody needs to chill out. We'll wait till everything comes out, and Compas don't
come
bother
on,
about
Dennis.
John
If
Harbaugh.
somebody else gets hired and we jump on a live, you don't want to come join us to chat about it?
Dennis, what if it's Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, come on.
What if it's Mike Vrabel? What do you think about that? Dennis, is it cool if it's Mike Vrabel?
You
Like,
should be
would you be
just as
okay with that?
excited for Mike Brable.
I think people should be excited for Mike Vrabel.
But
I
it'd be
think
kind of like, okay, I'm cool with it. It'll be a pause though. Like, all right.
I don't think there should be a pause. I think he'd be a
Yeah, but I
good.
feel like we're all, everybody. I'm saying we, but everybody's all we're looking forward to Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers.
Well, I just think that's kind of the thing that
There you go, Angel.
I think the organization's kind of set it up like that. Like you've missed with the last three head coach. You've missed with the last. You've missed with the last few head coaches. No thanks. He's a defensive coach. Okay, well that's his. That's I'd be happy too.
All
But
right.
if it's a first year head coach, I'd be in shambles. There's a report. Jim Hart and bringing his wife with him. Anthony, remember about those reports? Shohei Ohtani was on his way to Toronto. My God, Just remember
people like to fly to LA too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, we should all learn our lessons from Shohei Ohtani free agency. That's actually
exactly.
pretty smart.
Yeah. So you know what's funny? I was actually watching the All In with them, with him and his wife in the Michigan one, just to kind of see what. Yeah, Nancy, you did say CJ Stroud wasn't ready for that defense. I don't think it was him. I just think that the weapons, Tank Dell's not there. The scheme, but yeah, no, it wasn't his time yet. But hey, he's good. He'll be ready to go soon. But yeah, no, you were right. I'm just so I was watching the All In with him, or that version of the Michigan, the Amazon Prime version, and I kind of he's an interesting human being, really.
Yeah, check it out then.
Yeah, I was just watching it just for recreational reasons, and just kind of trying to see what kind of a person he is. He's very like he likes to use anecdotes from like his life into stories on how to bring the team together, and I thought that was actually pretty interesting.
I remember from his 49er days, but I thought maybe he would change, but he hasn't. I feel like.
I mean, and that's kind of like something that I would ask him, like, what now that you've kind of
it's different.
both, like, what's big because you can't bullshit NFL players. Like in college, like you can kind of bullshit them a little bit, but in the NFL, it's like you can't. Like these guys can smell, like, I mean, yeah, they can smell it from a mile away. So that's what I'm wondering what the biggest difference is. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But Gilbert, before we head out, you got anything you want to say?
Some quick promos. Actually, should we announce it or save it for another day? Because it's kind of official. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's official.
All right, you know what? I guess me excited. We can announce it if you stuck around for an hour 18. We appreciate you. But big news, big day for Compas on the Beat. The network keeps growing. Make it 3 years in a row for us to get the Super Bowl radio row. The Compas will be in Las Vegas. We should be like the crew from The Hangover, driving in the same car to Las Vegas, Sin City. So your boy Fernando, Vic the producer, Dan and Dago, and Gilberto. Sorry, that wasn't the best. Will be in Las Vegas for Super Bowl Radio Row. But it's a little pricey sometimes. There you go, Pedro. Not the news that you wanted, but be happy for us. There you go, Pedro. You are. Let's go. But check out the links in the description. We have a PayPal link for donations. Thank you, Jorge. Much love to you. And if you want to donate some little money, nothing too big. We don't want to put pressure or force anybody, but we'll use that money for equipment, for housing, also to drink some Modelos at the same time. But not for now. He doesn't drink, by the way. But we could use it for like a gathering to have a Korean barbecue. We like to do that together. But on a serious note, also too, if you don't want to give us your money, I always say check out the merch site, certifiedcompas.shop. I'm not wearing anything right now, but oh, you know what? I got a hat here somewhere here. So you want a hat like this? It's not the best hat right now, my favorite hat though. And we have some hoodies, we got some shirts, stickers, pins, whatever. Check out certifiedcompas.shop, link in the description. And also just keep doing what you're doing too. Watch our lives, like it, subscribe, be a compa, tell a compa. Maybe I'll do a super sticker, super like, super whatever. One day I'll remember what they are, or super thanks. That might be one of them. But there you go. Those are 3-4 ways to help out the network. We don't ask for your money all the time, but support is much appreciated, much better. Subscribe and like. It is an exciting time for Compas on the Beat.
Also, I know that obviously Jorge is a big
that made me laugh. Super burrito too.
Super burrito. Jorge, I know you're a big Dan and Dago guy. I know oh shoot, before we head out, just real quick. Yep. Jorge, don't you want to see more? Don't you want to see more of this? Look at this. Look at your boy.
And there's Adam right there, actually.
I like that. How you doing, Ricky?
Is this WWE?
It's UFC, guy.
You're not supposed to touch it till you win it, man. We traded, dude. Bad luck.
So definitely yeah, we're gonna definitely be out there. We're gonna shoot some awesome content. I know Pedro, Jorge, Dennis, like all you guys, with some of the interviews that we got scheduled out there, like you guys are going to be excited. I know you guys are going to be excited. We're going to give you guys what you want. So I hope you guys are excited because we got some good ones cooking. So yeah, we're going to get some good stuff from out there. So I hope you guys are excited, but yeah, it's going to be our 3rd year in a row. So yeah, get ready to see what we got cooking up. Yeah, exactly. Carmelo 3.
Yeah.
But again, thank you guys so much.
Wilson, team 3. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Russell Wilson. I'm trying to get people mellow, and you're over here giving me team 3. But yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, Compas. Stay dry. Hey, we're trying to. But give the people what they want. Mexican Pat McAfee. Are you talking about Dan and Dago, or what is he talking about?
I don't have the type of energy. I think it's Dan.
But we definitely appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out Compas on the Beat. It's going to be dropping tomorrow. You guys are going to get Dan's reaction of the Bills game. So you guys aren't going to want to miss that. And then who's Dan? Dan and Dago's getting conflicted on Sunday. Who is he going for on Sunday? By the way, I think Jorge just called you the Mexican Pat McAfee, Dan and Dago. So he's in here right now. But thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of Compas on the Beat. Or my bad. Thank you for checking out another Overreaction Lunes with the Compas. Gilbert, we'll be back next Lunes.
Yeah, why not? We'll be back to discuss the NFC title game, AFC title game, and another year of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. How about that, Dan? And that's not my prediction, by the way. I just wanted to kind of annoy Dan, who's right there next to his brother.
And are we gonna maybe discuss some more Chargers head coaching news? Who knows?
Hey, you know what? We shouldn't say for sure Monday. We might be at a press conference. How about that?
Ooh, look at that. Jorge's all
just write it down just in case we'll be here Monday.
Anthony said something. Pretty sure Harbaugh. Jorge said Harbaugh. So yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. But thank you guys so much again for checking it out. We'll see you guys back next week. Thank you guys. Have a good one.